Thank you, Mr. Chairman. U.S. households have, on average, 21 devices connected to the internet. I expect this is only going to grow as AI, robotics, and other smart Internet of Things devices become more integrated into our daily lives. This makes reliable and secure communication networks more important than ever. And at the same time, we have seen what happens when we do not act fast enough to address the growing cyber and national security threats early. We must learn from the past to inform the future. The stakes are too high to do otherwise. And that's why I am proud to work with Chairman Molinar on the bipartisan GUARD Act, which takes a proactive approach to evaluating the national security risks posed by connected robotics before those technologies become deeply embedded in our economy and critical infrastructure. And with that, I want to start with you, Mr. Robbins. I think we can all agree that we should not repeat the mistakes that left the United States scrambling to remove Huawei and ZTE equipment only after it had already become embedded in our communications networks and posed a significant national security risk. In your view, what makes the covered list an effective national security tool? And are there other tools or authorities that Congress should consider to ensure that the U.S. maintains pace with China's rapid deployment of robotics?
Yeah, thank you for that question, Congresswoman, and thank you for your leadership on the GUARD Act. It is very much sincerely appreciated. So, first of all, the covered list is a good source of action. With the GUARD Act directs the FCC to take action because the FCC has the authority to take care of this proactively. They can, as they've done with drones and internet routers, restricted the import of future models, which doesn't necessarily impact the models that are already here. That ensures that there's a cutoff point. It gives investors certainty that the market's not going to continue to be flooded with subsidized Chinese robots or drones, and further injecting national security risk into the United States. The FCC also has a lot of agility in their ability to act. So when a company takes an action like sets up a fake subsidiary, a white label company to then continue to try and do operations in the United States, the FCC has the agility to quickly take action and ban that subsidiary. And in fact, they just did so this week with 9 or 10 fake companies that were operating as white label subsidiaries of a Chinese drone company, DJI.
And what is the worst case scenario if we wait too long to confront the potential threats posed by Chinese-made communications equipment, technology, and services in advanced robotics?
Yeah, the risk is that they become embedded in society like Chinese drones did, and then the cost of rolling that back is significantly greater to the American people, while we're also exporting the data that the robots are collecting right back to China, powering their innovation, powering their research. Research labs, universities that are doing research today, primarily in artificial intelligence, with Chinese robots, all that data is going right back to China. We're handing this a gift to them. So they're flooding the U.S. market with subsidized robots is strategic.
And what's the stake for American startups and our robotics research and development ecosystem if Chinese-made robotic and communication technologies continue to undercut U.S. innovation?
Yeah, it's going to be very challenging for companies to be able to compete. I think U.S. innovation will continue to lead the world, but it's very challenging for companies to scale manufacturing. It's very hard for them to raise the money to hire the workforce and build out the floor plan. When investors see what's happened in other industries, where China has come in, flooded the market, and drove companies either out of business or kept their market share small because they have artificially low prices.
And so you'd agree it's important that Congress act now to ensure that American companies compete on a level playing field and that the United States remains a global leader in these critical technologies.
Absolutely. Congress should act now.
Okay.
Yes,
and I may not have time to get an answer to this, so I'll ask you all to respond on the record. But, Ms. Gorman, you've seen, and I'm sure we've talked about already, the news that during the testing phase of OpenAI's GPT 5.6 and more powerful unreleased models, their ability to break out and go rogue. This is an unprecedented event in which AI acts outside of its directives and could become more commonplace. So what safeguards should we be looking at so that the very technology that we're using to protect our critical infrastructure works for us and not against us?
happy to answer more fully, but essentially this is the question of model alignment and making sure that we assess models for alignment before deploying them in critical infrastructure is vital.
Thank you. I yield back.